This is part 2 of the story about piercing Patty. If you're not familiar, you can find part 1 in the description below. This is the final resolution, and you'll finally get an end to this incredible mess. Some of you expressed how disappointing it is that I'm back here again, and I agree. I truly thought piercing Patty and I were on the mend, and that we're going to be one of the lucky ones that survived a just no incident. I wanted to forgive her, but I needed time to heal. She, however, did not feel as if I was forgiving fast enough. And for the past 6 months or so, she's been trying to needle herself back into our lives. It began with her asking once a month if she could visit. And then it became every week. Then almost every day, daily chores to tell her, "No, you cannot stay with us. We aren't over what you did yet. Like a scab, if you keep picking at me, I can never heal." So her presence in my home became my hill to die on. I never lied to protect her feelings, I never gave her the runaround. And every time she asked me directly if she could stay with us, I told her the truth. I do not trust you here anymore because of your actions. But still, she persisted. So, after a hilarious gate incident, as I call it, Gate, I was stuck in an awkward position. You see, I still wanted to go see CIL in the hospital, and make sure AIL had all the tools she needed to do her momming. But I definitely did not want to interact with piercing Patty. Alas, I went anyways because I loved CIL more than I hated piercing Patty. AIL needed some rest after the excitement died down, so I told her to go back to the hotel and I would take an evening shift with the CIL. I brought CIL all her favorite junk foods and some fashion magazines. We were busy chatting about some boys she's been seeing and whether he likes her or likes she. And, the feeling to be young again. Then in waltzes piercing Patty with the worst look on her face. It honestly chilled the room. I don't know how to accurately describe this face, but imagine if you spent all day at the salon, dropping tons of money on your stylist and colorist, and then coming home to your husband saying, "I liked it better before." Yeah, it would be that face. It was the kind of disdain only a woman could convey on their face. Hey, you know what? This isn't about me. We're both here for CIL, and I'll just deflect to ease the tension. We can have World War III when we aren't caring for a broken-legged college student. Hello, Patricia. I don't know why, but it cracks me up when I use her formal name like that. Like, suck it up, we aren't friends anymore. What are you doing here? We're just hanging out. What are you doing here, piercing Patty? Where's Mom? Oh, AIL took a goober to Target. She packed so quickly, and she forgot a few things. Seriously, is that what we call ride shares? Oh, I'm gonna call her. Maybe she can pick up some personal items and some favorite snack items. CIL gets distracted calling her mom, so piercing Patty's full attention's on me now. I don't know what I did to make you treat me like this. Seriously, because it happened not too long ago, you broke into my office and compromised my client's privacy. That's what you did you really not remember? I'm actually incredulous. Are you still mad at me about that? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, Patricia. And you can say sorry until you're blue in the face. I'm not forgetting that it happened. You could have easily messed things up for me and my dear husband. Well, you can't keep me out of your life forever. I'm dear husband's mother. I have a right to be in his house. He only owns half the house, Patricia, which half of you want access to. To the left half or the right half. Ha! Many ways I could pronounce her name by emphasizing different syllables is a new fun game I'll play. I would never speak to my mother-in-law that way. You don't have a mother-in-law. So, like the top half or the bottom half, we could quarter the home and you could just stay in 2 quadrants at a time, or... CIL gets off the phone with her mom. CIL, I came to bring you dinner. She hands over a bag of McDonald's. Oh, no thanks. I'm kinda full from the stuff Mother-in-Paws brought. You can just leave it there. I'll have some later. Well, I can't do anything right now, can I? Mother-in-Paws gets to do everything, and I can't do anything. CIL gets the most bewildered look on her face. Go ahead and ruin your body with that junk, she puts the pile of snacks I brought. I'm a mother. I know you need real food to get better. Mother-in-Paws is not even a mother. She'll never be a mother. She couldn't do what I did. Whoa, what? Okay, this just turned into something else. At this point, CIL is tearing up a bit. I mean, she's being yelled at for not eating McDonald's, and she's scared. I feel bad because I know that Piercing Patty's anger is directed towards me. So I get up to leave because I did not want CIL to have to bear my burden. I'm gathering my things and... splash! Piercing Patty tossed a big gulp-sized cup full of McDonald's Diet Coke at me. Okay, first off, duck off. This purse is Yves Saint Laurent. So you're basically dead to me for getting the leather wet. And second of all, you were being so loud a second ago that a nurse poked her head in, saw you assault me with your refreshing beverage, and called security. CIL yells at Piercing Patty to stop. Security comes in and CIL begs them to make her leave. I'm already on my way out because I need to mourn the collateral of war that's my expensive ass handbag. And then it happens. She lunges at me. Not to hit me, but to get closer to the point of my face and yell some more. However, that's not how security interpreted the situation, and they armbarred her so hard she fell on her arse. She gets told that if she does not leave immediately, they're calling the police. True to her new MO, she grabs one of those mauve pink plastic cups that was on CIL's bed table and throws it at one of the security guys, and then books it out of the hospital before they could arrest her. I honestly did not think she was any shape to run, but hey, I've been wrong before. It was impressive fast. Up next is the unforgivable thing that led to no contact. CIL is doing fine. She's set to make a full physical recovery, although I think she's still very frightened to drive by herself. I know it gives her anxiety to do simple things like run to the store. Poor girl. Last we left off, I was driving my sticky Diet Coke self back home to dear husband. I got home, explained what happened, and then I went into my closet, plucked my purse off the shelves one by one until I found the right one, dug into the underlined pocket and lit up one of those emergency cigarettes, and had a long, deep drag. I was so angry and so humiliated. Piercing Patty splashed a drink in my face. Like, did I get my own show on the E! Network? If so, when's the check coming? I got bags to replace. Dear husband comes in and holds me for a bit. We talk. I'm still trying to understand why she's acting like this. It's very, very aggressive compared to her past behavior. She's usually just extremely annoying. The physical escalation has me very worried. I start to think maybe it's a brain tumor. I'll later learn that her only diagnosis is that she is an asshat. Dear husband calls his mom and sets up a meeting. She tries to tell her side of the story, but it's honestly so absurd that nothing makes sense and he ends up being even more confused after she tried to explain to him what happened. We absolutely cannot go on like this, and as luck would have it, AIL, who is now furious at Piercing Patty for yelling at her infirm daughter, has kicked her out of the hotel room they shared, and now Piercing Patty has booked the flight back to Southern State, because she has nowhere to stay. The flight leaves tomorrow evening, so we plan to have a lunch before we drop her off. Before I got to the lunch, I want to share something with you guys. Dear husband and I've been childless. Not necessarily child-free, but we do like to travel, go to bars until late at night, and do exclusively adult stuff. It was a lifestyle that worked for us for a long time, but in the last year or so, I've been kind of thinking that maybe I did not need 2 guest rooms, and that one would make a nice nursery. You know? We weren't trying, but we weren't not trying either. If it happens, it happens. Well, nothing happened. Nothing happened for a long time. I got insecure and suspicious. Long story short, doctor says it's me. It's fine, don't have the sympathy thing. It makes me feel like I should be sadder than I am, and I'm not really sad. Okay, that's a lie. I was sad for like a second, but to be honest, the not knowing was worse. Now I can plan on doing what I've always wanted to do, fostering to adopt. No skin off my back. Now back to the lunch. Lord help us all. I have court in the morning, so I can't give you guys a verbatim transcript, but the gist is this. Piercing Patty has not saved for retirement like at all. You guys, she works at a job that pays average, but would have an amazing retirement plan. However, taking advantage of this retirement plan would require foresight. I guess she just planned to work until she was dead. But then dear husband put something in himself through school, got an amazing career, and got himself a wife that works. And now we're just so rich that of course we would want to raise Piercing Patty as our own. The end. JK, not the end. So much not the end. All not the ends we haven't even started. The delusional Crumb thought that when we were ready to have kids, she would move in with us and take care of the baby. That was literally her retirement plan. So now that we know we aren't going to have any bio kids, and that the fostering to adopt option may yield in us adopting older kids that don't need a full-time granny helping out, she was lost in her retirement plan. In her head all along, I was going to beg her back into the home because a newborn was going to be more than I could bear. She was just waiting me out. I was going to grovel, she was sure. I guess she really snapped when dear husband told her we weren't going to have children. It kinda solidified that she may never be allowed back in the home. At least not via her retirement plan/nanny gig. And she became desperate to get into my house because she viewed it as a home where she would spend her twilight years. Like, girl, I wouldn't even let you spend the duration of the Twilight movie in my house. Get out of here with that dumb idea. Okay, side note, she's also in her early 50s and is reasonably good health. I mean, I just saw you run like Usain Bolt from 2 hospital security guards. So I don't think now's an appropriate retirement age for you. You got a few tax-paying years left, Piercing Patty. I was kind of stunned at lunch. I didn't say much. Dear husband was panicked because he knew it would fail on him to figure it out for her. But we both agreed that this was absolutely never, ever going to happen. It's amazing how you've been with someone so long that you can convey the entire message in nothing but a glance. Dear husband told her flatly, "Mom, you cannot live with us. We like our life as it is, and we don't think it's a good idea to be sharing our..." And then, as if it was on cue, she starts crying uncontrollably, loud, heavy sobs. Laugh out loud, whatever bro, keep your crocodile tears away from my club sandwich. It's got 3 slices of bread, so there's a celebration sandwich. I'm not going to let you ruin 3 slices for me. And then she says the unforgivable line. If your wife was a real woman, I wouldn't have to live on the streets in my old age. Okay, I'm going to need a 4th slice of bread. You just turned my happy sandwich into a sad sandwich. Ooh, ouch. I'm a real woman, duck you. That statement really hurt my feelings for some reason. Usually when she talks, I just let the words roll right past me, but this was an act of war. Piercing Patty, you just violated the Geneva Convention. Like that, you're expecting no retaliation? Shrug. I kept eating my tiny triangles. I was going to take a beat to address the horrific thing she just said to me. I don't respond to attacks until I know that I can articulately stand up for myself. But the shock left me a little weak. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to respond, because I can feel tears welling up in my eyes, and I know the next time I blink I'll be crying. All of a sudden I'm wearing my jacket, and now my arm is getting yanked. Now dear husband's throwing cash hazardly onto the table. Oh, my tiny triangles, I wasn't done with those. And now I'm in the car. We never responded. I never even got to defend myself. He shut my passenger side door and I cried harder than I remember crying in a very long time. I knew we were done. I cried because I was relieved. I really thought he'd choose to help her because she was his mother. I thought I was going to have to help retire her one day if I wanted to stay with him. But she did the unforgivable thing and now we're both off the hook. Yay? I don't know how she got to the airport, to be honest. Probably took a goober. I never thought about that before I started typing this story out, huh? When we got home, I told him no more. She's blocked on everything, and I told the gate guards to call the police immediately if she shows up again. Don't even notify me. She needs to get her own phone plan. Any trips to Southern State will not be attended by me. All the money we were giving her was going to stop. He can send her whatever he wants from his discretionary budget, but I wasn't going to send her any of my monkey womb money. I'm a real woman, gosh dang it. Well, I don't have any more update for you guys. That was months ago and her name isn't even whispered in my household anymore. Dear husband doesn't talk about her, although I'm sure she's been begging for more money. I don't think about her unless I'm feeding llamas and we're all concentrating on how is getting approved to be foster parents. I hope my kid marries an attorney when she or he grows up, so I can relive this saga step by step from other perspectives. I've been tossing fountain drinks at dartboards for practice. If you've been following on with this madness of a roller coaster, with Piercing Patty, Dear Husband, OP, the whole shebang, it's been a wild one. I would not be surprised at all if this wasn't the last we've seen of Piercing Patty. But I guess only time will tell. Our final story on the day is an Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for encouraging my ex-husband to take a DNA test and potentially destroying his family? Smash that like button. Here comes today's final story of the day. Me and my ex-husband James tried for almost 7 years to have a baby. James was someone who did not like going to the doctor to solve fertility things and believed it should be done in natural ways, without medicine. He even encouraged me not to have annual checkups at the gynecologist. During those years, he blamed me for being infertile and that I was unable to have their children. Toxic relationship, I know. We broke up after a huge fight in which he accused me of being a sterile jerk. The plot twist of the story is that after meeting my current husband, and we started trying, because of various comments from James in the past, I soon decided to solve my fertility problem. To my big shock, everything's healthy and I could have a child for years. And when I talked about my past trying to conceive, the doctors pointed out the possibility of James' infertility, which makes sense. I now have 3 children, 4-year-old male, 4-year-old male, and 2-year-old female. James and I still have mutual friends, and I've already met after divorce. But since I moved out of town, I haven't seen them in about 3 years, until recently at a kid's party for my friend's son. I met up with James and we started talking. Currently, we have an okay relationship with no hard feelings. He said he was engaged and had a 7-month-old son. I said I had 3 children, and he said something that would be like, "I'm happy for you. You managed to solve your infertility and got your family." I just gave him a giggle and told him, "Honey, infertility wasn't on my side. I was able to have kids with you too." The matter died there and I went to another corner of the party. Yesterday, I got a random call from an unknown number. When I answered it, it was the fiancé, ex now, yelling at me that I've meddled in my ex's life and encouraged him to take a DNA test, which came out to him not being a father, and now James has called off the wedding. She said I destroyed their family by meddling in their lives. My friend said I should not have intruded. I didn't encourage it. It was a normal conversation, and he did not even reply to this. Am I the a-hole? Even though this situation is a sticky one, and it probably doesn't happen very often, and this rock floating in the outer space, but let's go ahead and read the number one comment. Not the a-hole. All you did is tell him you did not have any infertility issues. What he did with that information is all on him. You did not ruin his family. You saved him from being married to a woman who cheated on him. I have to agree, guys. It's not like OP meant to ruin this. I think that she actually helped by revealing what type of girl her ex was actually with now. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comment section down below. That's going to end today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, have a wonderful day, and it's cool to be kind.